won't trust me on this one. I really find it odd, to be quite honest with you, but you know, everybody's got their right to do whatever they do. That is life. So let me explain to you. And I'll give you a quick synopsis, and then this way you don't have to take a long time to catch up and understand what I'm saying here and all that stuff, all right? So there's a particular female. This particular female for some time now has been online. Many of y'all have seen her, many of y'all haven't. But this particular female, if y'all seen her online, a while ago, she got a settlement. And that settlement was well over $1 million. I think it was $1 million and plus some odd dollars, or whatever the case may be. Now, and coincidentally, this is before taxes. Hey, Ahmad, what's going on? Ahmad, since you up here, can you write my Cash App up in here? I'm moving and shaking right now, but I want to do this live while I get to going where I'm going or whatever. Try to get some juices up. You know what I'm saying? Get my just due. I appreciate it. Thank you, fam. This woman who has appeared in numerous online I don't know if you want to call them interviews even, but she's been on a lot of people's podcasts, especially every time that something pops up with Diddy, incapacitating Diddy or speaking about Diddy, somehow or another she is involved in the conversation. I don't know how, but she's there. And so with that being said, hey, all right, thank you, fam. With that being said, I saw her today, and she was on a particular female, which I can't figure out three things about her. Number one, I think she's Latina. I'm pretty sure she's either half Latina and half black or full Latina. There's a lot of indicators there that she's Latina. The first thing that gives her away is her accent. So you can't deny it anywhere. Second thing that gives it away is your facial features. You understand? So not necessarily totally, but most of the time, especially when it comes to her brand of Latina, which she looks almost Dominican to me. I can't be specific, and maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But she looks like a Dominican girl to me. On her show today, she had this particular female that was on there, and this female has been for, I'm going to say, this happened 25 years ago as of this year coming up, this Club New York situation. So this will make her 24th year, repeatedly talking about the same conversation. So as of today, she had the same conversation once again, but on this particular podcast, it was interesting to me because there were some other elements there that had never been reached before or never been displayed before. But this particular woman, who once again, I'm going to explain to you, got a I think it was somewhere about 1.3 million, 1.4 million before taxes. That's what she received. So as a result of that, after 24 years without the right investments, like you guys are always talking about, a lot of people in my chat room, you can imagine, how come that doesn't apply here? You know, a lot of times when they say, oh, well, you know, he didn't make the right investments, that's why he's in the situation he's in. Why doesn't that apply to women? If I got $1.3 million and after taxes, it's probably still 990, depending on what state you live in. Why wouldn't I have some investments, at least a couple properties? You know, you can buy properties nowadays for dirt cheap, really, if you really invest it. So I was like, okay, so the money's drying up. That's what it is. And so when I saw her on this particular show today, it was funny to me because and I'm not attacking the commentator. She has the right to say what she wants to, but at the same time, she gives off being misandrous. She gives off being obnoxious. She gives off being a man-hater. And I don't like podcasters like that, male or female. I think there's no room for that. I think there's a lot of male bashing that goes on online, and she partakes in it pretty much daily. She's always got a new update she's getting from Law and Crime Network. She doesn't have exclusives. If you want the exclusive, go to Law and Crime Network. You'll understand the connection from there. Trust me on this. I got that after she did probably the third podcast I saw. I was like, oh, okay, she's going over to Law and Crime. I got it. So that's where she gets the information from. She Googles a lot. I knew she was off because she quoted page 6. Nobody in the tri-state area, listen to me one more time. I don't know of one person outside a dodo that pays attention to page 6 that lives in the New York City tri-state area. That section used to be like the smallest section in publication on paper when it was in circulation. Like literally, you could still get the New York Post, but it was the smallest section in the paper. It literally was. And it was usually reserved for people talking about rumors or right in the contention of what this conversation is about. So when I heard her quote page 6 the other day, I was like, oh yeah, she don't understand what's going on. I don't know what state she lives in. If somebody knows, let me know. I just like to know what state I ain't gonna do nothing to her, nothing like that. I think she's just, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but it's still I have to divulge what happened during that podcast that made it different than all the other podcasts I'd seen prior that particularly this woman had been a part of. And this is what gets me. And the commentator or the podcaster herself, she didn't get it. See, that girl today when she was on your show, you didn't realize it, but she was crying out for help. She was crying out for someone to listen to her. She was crying out for someone to take her seriously. She was crying out for someone just to new. Sometimes when you find people that have long-going traumas like that, they always look for somebody particularly new to have the conversation with, because of pure simple fact, they feel that people don't take them serious because they hear them say the same things daily and daily, over and over and over and over, repeatedly, you know? And so a lot of people, they start reaching out to strangers. They'll reach out to anybody that'll give an ear. What happened in this particular situation was this podcast went awry because of the pure simple fact that this woman got into an emotional state. You could tell she was in an emotional state when she first came on the podcast because she was just literally over-talking the podcaster over and over and over. And it really wasn't on purpose. What she was trying to do was she was trying to divulge her emotions. And she found a new it's not even a victim. It's just, it was a new ear. And when they get a new ear, what happens is they're usually attuned to starting to have conversations with somebody new. And there might be some things that change out different. There might be some things that wasn't there before. But now they're able to express them. And so when I saw this woman today and she was on this podcast and there was probably like 3K people in there, I said, yeah, that's what this is. This lady, she's looking for a lending ear and a listening ear. And she wants a listening ear because of the pure simple fact nobody's listening to her to the capacity that she wants them to. That was the conclusion I came down to. And I'll back that up because her own sons, what she quoted, I don't like talking about people's kids on my podcast, I never do. But her own son, quote from her mouth, paraphrasing here a little bit, why don't you hang it up? Why don't you get offline? Why don't you take a break? Why don't you, I swear to God, I just got looked at like, I don't know what it is. I get on this again because y'all know I have the immigrant conversations, but sometimes some of our immigrant friends are getting a little too comfortable where they're thinking that there's something other than what they are. I'll just leave it like that. Like, what work have you put in this country? Please let me know. Anyway, back to the premise here. So as I was listening to this woman and I heard her divulge more and more to this particular podcast, at one point or another, she started crying. Now, she did this regular dance and shake and, you know, oh my God, I was a victim, you know. And it's purely for Cashapps, because if it wasn't for Cashapps, you wouldn't have took 2 breaks during the podcast itself and said, can you make sure you get the Cash App right? It's this one, where she mentioned it. And what she didn't realize was the actual podcaster was testing her to see, okay, what is your real modus operandi here? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you here to tell your story because you want some vindication, or are you here because you want Cash Apps? Based on the fact of how many times that Cash App was promoted during that podcast, and it was many times. For example, people have a problem with me, and I know this is from being a male. This is one of the main reasons I monetized this page with YouTube and partnered up with them, because just that whole thing, trying to partner with the people, that don't work for me. So, you know, shout out to the people though, power to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Ashanti and all that shit. Point is, if you're back on YouTube, man, because you're collecting Cash Apps and you got somebody promoting you getting Cash Apps and they're talking about how you were in financial distraught and you're saying the same thing too, and you're using this particular moment now that this man has been arrested and he's under penalty of prison right now, you're using this particular moment, man, and you've been telling this story now for 24 years, going on 25. Ma'am, you have been paid out over $1.3 million. You spent that money. However you spent it, I don't know. You went to the local Piggly Wiggly. You went and bought the new, you know what I mean, Shaman Bam that came out. Whatever you did with it, the money's gone. So can we be fair here in the same way we treat men? And we say if a man is coming broke or if a man falls off or whatever, the first thing they say to that man is what? Well, he should have invested more. You know, the stuff that came around in the past 7 years, they have conversations about, he should have invested more. He should have done this. He should have done that. And blah, blah, you know, all these thespians that swear that they're mathematicians and CPAs now. And so what you get is you get a double standard, because that's the same thing that they should have said to this woman. You should have invested your money. You should have watched how you spent. You should have hired a CPA. The same things that you tell men, y'all should be telling this woman. Not promoting her. And I don't like that. I really, really don't like the fact when you have women, and I'm not making fun of your network. Ladies, if you want to promote each other, support each other, do it. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't really for y'all. It's more so for the men. This woman who I'm talking about was involved in the Club New York shooting that involved Sean and Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? As I mentioned many times, for me being somebody that worked at that company for over 17 years, a lot of you guys know that I talked about that previously. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I even got a bonus for you later on tonight. I promise. This one's on me. But make sure you hit the Cash App right now. $ STRINGERBELL80. Papa. You ain't in the position. So anyway, long story short, yeah, I check motherfuckers real quick. If you ain't in the same, listen, if you ain't had the same education as me, you ain't never seen the same money as me, don't walk past me with a book bag on your back staring at me. I will embarrass you. See, the difference between me and y'all know this. You can easily Google me. That's why I tell somebody straight up that people, I don't know, people generally speaking, they take how somebody is dressed and, you know, listen, I worked in the music industry for 17 years. I met so many frauds. Even when y'all see me now and I'm covering the cases and stuff like that, whether it's Jonathan Majors, the joint with 2 joints with Trump, now with this Diddy thing or whatever. You even see the difference between the provisions of media that when I'm in the freaking media area right there, it's different types of people. You know what I'm saying? So you could be presumptuous in a way sometimes it can make you look like a fool. So I always throw that up to people. Well, if you put me into Google, what's going to come up right now when you put in DAVINLEWIS, what's going to come up is MTV. What's going to come up is BET. What's going to come up is Hot 97. What's going to come up is Bad Boy. Follow me. So, you know, like, there ain't no comparison. So don't walk past me with a book bag looking like you just got off the boat 2 months ago, looking at me like you somebody. I don't play that shit. I'm not going to play pretend actor or actress with you. Reality is reality. You are not as accomplished as me. Point blank, period. I don't care what you think or what your skeptic metric is of success. It doesn't matter. It's not reality. And y'all seen me on camera enough times to prove that to you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to do that no more. I get bored with that. This lady should have been told the same thing that men are told online, especially here on YouTube, which is this. Ma'am, why didn't you have more investments? You got a settlement for $1.3 million. Do you think in reality, listen, it's hard enough. With all the stuff that I cover, I've covered all 3 arraignments of Diddy now. You understand what I'm saying? I've had everybody on my camera. Gloria Allred. I was right next to Lisa Evers. She came on camera for me. Shout out to Lisa Evers, Fox News. You know what I mean? I'm in the game. You feel me? So it's like, I know from just seeing certain individuals when they come online, it's that moment to come online. You understand? And I want to tell TT, you even had some doubt about that chick earlier, and I'm glad you had your spider senses on it. You're going to find more of these people that you're willing, excuse me, y'all, that you're looking forward to interviewing on your show, and you're going to find out that they're frauds, just like Mr. Bugsby has been finding out that they're frauds. You know, he started out with 3,000 people, don't you know? He started out with 3,000 people, don't you know? And it got reduced down to how many people? 120. Now, I'm not saying those 120 people are lying or telling the truth. What I'm simply saying to you is you're going to have a whole bunch of not bends before you have some bends. You know what I'm saying? I'm a some bend. The mistake you also made on your show, ma'am, was you said, this is somebody that was actually around. No, she wasn't actually around. She wasn't actually around. She wasn't in court until the end. We were down at they had a trial down at the Jackie Javits Center. I got interviewed by Sway in the Morning. At that time, he was working for MTV, and I also got interviewed by NBC with my man Scrooge McBuck out in Queens. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get Scrooge on here. He'll tell you the same thing. If you contact either MTV, which is Viacom, or contact NBC, I'm sure they have the what's-the-name footage of it and the archive footage of it. You can see it for yourself. So we were there. You understand what I'm saying? This is not somebody that's just sitting up here blowing smoke up your butt. As most of y'all know, but I get a lot of new subscribers that don't know. And so I was there. So if you're going to say somebody was there, it was me. Sweetheart, regardless of what you think or any of these podcasters tell you that live in Wyoming, California, Ohio, and all these places trying to give testament to something they don't know about, which is odd as heck to me. Like, you guys knowing about what happened during that period and being able to realize what happened in that period, to be able to translate it. I was a kid myself. I was, 20, turning 21. Most of y'all that are in these conversations and online and having these vlogs are under 35 years old. You wasn't even alive when this stuff was going on, barely. You hear what I'm saying, guys? The one girl that was interviewing this lady, who I've been seeing for the past 10 years on YouTube and countless other engines, this lady has literally been collecting money year after year after year after year after year after year. And I'm like, lady, what are you doing with the money? And it seems like to me she's trying to maintain a lifestyle that seems like she can't afford. How else do you expect to spend $1.3 million and you ain't got nothing left? You ain't got nothing left? Come on, something ain't adding up. And now you're on this girl's podcast collecting Cashapps. This is a woman that got a $1.3 million settlement. I want to underline that one more time. If this was a man, y'all would have told a man off the bat, well, he should have invested better. He should have did this better. He should have done this better. $1.3 million and this woman gets a Cash App fund going for her. I got you. I got you. And it's on, in my opinion, on a station that promotes misandry out of the earlobes. The misandrists over there, boy, they run deep. Run deep. Only thing they need is a pitchfork and some bonfires. We got a day to go, you know? We hate men. I say, you girls keep running around talking about you hate men, you're gonna end up like Wonder Woman in the Amazons in a minute. It got so bad for them, they had to go around and start kidnapping men. So I'm not lying to you, not, you know? And it comes from an old Greek story there, really, but the sentiment and the premise still remains the same. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So make sure y'all hit that like button for me if you would. I appreciate it. $STRINGERBELL80. Also, if you're looking for a new PlayStation 5, make sure you shop with me on the side right there. I get a commission for each purchase that you make. Also, look at some of my older broadcasts or whatever. You'll see some promotions for other products on there, including clothes. I know a lot of kids are going back to school, so all that stuff's in there, different sizes, all from Macy's and you know what I'm saying, reputed establishments that you don't have to worry about, and you can return your things or whatever the case may be. So when you're ordering those things from those affiliate links, just remember you're ordering directly from the supply, which will be Macy's, which will be PlayStation. I think it's what was that place? GameStop there. All those places are reputable. So make sure if you guys need a new PlayStation 5, some kids clothes, all that stuff, all the links are right there in my affiliate section right there. Make sure you click that link. I get a small commission off that. Helps along with the channel, helps along with me. Now you see, when I started talking about my stuff, everybody started leaning off. You see how like 6 people just disappeared when I started promoting myself? But we should feel sorry for this woman who's been on line for the past 10 years collecting Cash Apps. That's misandrous for you. That's misandry for you. It's okay for me to do it, but you're a man. It ain't okay for you to do it. How dare you get on here and work all hard and do more than just sit in your bedroom and do a podcast, and you be at, trials and things like that we're talking about, but we're not there. You don't deserve any donations. The only people that deserve donations is the victim who spent $1.3 million, and now she got a chick on the roll with her. Oh, thank you so much. It goes $100, it goes $200, it goes $300. This is a behavior of these Captain Save-A-Hole men that are out here. You can't afford to be Captain Save-A-Hole no more, fellas. It's going to financially cost you. I'm going to say once again for the men in the back. You cannot no longer, in 2024, afford to be Captain Save-A-Hole. Especially when it's a woman that comes from an urban background, especially when it's a woman that talks very loud on the phone because she wants attention, especially when it comes from women that don't have any sense of respect for their own men, that look like their daddies, their uncles, their own sons. These women have no respect for you. And so when you run around and you try to act like you're Captain Save-A-Hole, they laugh at you. There's a woman right now that was an OnlyFans model. She got involved with a guy, I guess he's a porn star, but slash OnlyFans. And today they had a nice discussion about it, and I saw clips and bits of it at first, and I said, oh, well, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. Then I got in depth with it, and I actually heard her speak. Now pay attention, kids. This woman, in the course of a day, went to Texas, moved into Texas with this guy. She's 19 years old. She's already, remember I talked to you guys about this before? I said, listen, there's girls that graduate high school now and their first goal is to get on OnlyFans. You ain't believe me. Here's another one. So this girl's 19. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I thought y'all were worried about women getting essayed and getting done bad. But when I talk about it, y'all got a problem with it. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't like a male voice talking about it? No, we're going to talk about it. This girl who was 19 years old was an OnlyFans model. She did some shoots for consecutively, what it sounds like to me, about 4 or 5 days, back-to-back shoots, meaning that she was getting banged out, she stopped, got banged out again, let's do a threesome. She explained this is out of her own words, not anything I'm making up. Please hit that like button, make sure you subscribe if you have it, and make sure you hit the Cash App. We moving and shaking. I got something special for y'all later on, so make sure y'all hit that Cash App right now. You heard? This woman, let me stretch this out for you a little bit. This woman is trying to recoup the money she spent. Now, I'm sure some of that money went towards raising her kids. Her kids are adults now. This woman's 54 years old. 54. You understand? And you'll have these women come on, they'll be able to get online or whatever. But I'm gonna go back into the OnlyFans girl in a second here. But I want to extend what I'm saying here so y'all understand. This is Gorilla Goo Girl. This is the chick that saw the Kylie chick that saw the baby on the highway. This is the chick that said she got hit by the brick, come to find out she didn't. And each one of them was able to collect, I think, in the sum total of $40,000, $45,000 each off of Cash Apps, off of donations, whatever the case may be. This misandrous point of view that they have in this, and listen, girls, I'm not mad at you for supporting each other. I'm really not. I'm really trying to give the guys a kick in the ass so they'll start supporting me and other guys that are here on YouTube. But I have to point this out. This girl, in her quest for money, in her quest for fame, for her quest for adventure, whatever she was after, and she's a very pretty girl, doing all these different OnlyFans shoots, she ended up contacting herpes from this particular gentleman. This particular gentleman now is being accused of multiple women within that OnlyFans area of infecting them. So we now have 1, 2, 3, and you know, I don't know how much to believe and how much not to believe. And the reason I say this is because of pure simple fact. He had 3 girls on there, but 2 of the girls said they didn't want to talk, they didn't want to be named, they didn't want to, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I can understand it. Like, I don't want to be known, but these girls were also on OnlyFans. Get what I'm saying here? They were on OnlyFans. So they were all shooting with this one guy. This guy passes all of them on herpes. You'll hear more about it in the days to come, because pretty sooner or later there's going to be some questions asked, because they got a whole system out there in California. My sister still lives out there. I lived out there for a minute. They got a whole system in California out there for people that do the porn, you know, whatever. They have to go to mandatory testing. But it's a state liquidated and state audited and state everything operated facility that they must go to as porn actors. Now, they've been doing this probably since maybe 1999, going into 2000 something. And they did this because it was a health scare many times over. And it wasn't particularly with AIDS either. It was with other venereal diseases and stuff like that. So this particular OnlyFans, I guess, actor, if you want to say, now is going to be coming into the fold. This is very early. Like I said, we're talking about 19 hours back, 20 hours back. People will be on and talking about it in a minute. But you see how money drives women to do stuff that not even 10 years ago we would have found disgusting and ridiculed them for? So that's my point. Well, that same thing takes place here on YouTube, kids. You got a lot of women on here that got true stories. You know, this happened to me, that happened to me. Salute to those women. I hope you get your vindication out of the bottom of my heart. I got 2 sisters. You touch my sisters, don't worry about the police coming to get you. You better worry about me and my cousins. I don't like sensationalists. That's one of my biggest problems here on YouTube. We have a lot of sensationalists on here. You know, they're not in search of the truth. They're not in search of what's really going on. What they're in search of is, how much can I jerk this story so I can get some views? Even YouTube themselves, they promote that we do that. They promote that we alter our titles. They promote that we alter our hashtags. They promote a lot of things so it'll fit in a certain category of a certain news stream about a certain individual. Did y'all not notice? A couple of days ago, I was talking about, hey, we need to put a cap on this thing with the internet and the and the YouTubers being able to affect this, whole situation falling out. What did you see? You saw his lawyer introduce, hey, listen, we need a gag order as far as it comes to this internet stuff. It gets out of hand, it gets out of control. Smart man. I'm not here to disrespect that woman. I don't want any of you ladies to think that. You can get a land grant for $1,000 and take a construction loan of your LLC to build the house. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot more than $1,000 though, but I feel what you're saying though, man. I appreciate that info. I didn't see that at first. It was kind of a little bright out here. There's a couple of various different loans I could take out and acquire them and whatever. The thing is, I paid off loans before I paid off my college loans, and trust me, it's not the loans itself, it's the interest. It took me almost a year and a half plus to pay off just the interest. Dead ass serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and still then the principal, I think that's how they call it, the principal is still still there. You know what I'm saying? So you think you're paying towards the principal, and actually you're just paying towards the interest. That's what I found. I don't know about everybody else, but that's what I found. So that's my dog right there. I didn't even see his question right there at first. Was I bothered by this interview? No, I just think the timing was pretty peculiar. I think the woman that did the interview is a opportunist. I don't see what you got out of this interview other than seeing this woman break down in front of you. This woman was crying online. I have never seen that woman crying online. Something mentally is going on with her. And instead of taking care of her, like if it was my podcast, I would have been like, yo, listen, I appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and end the podcast. I would not have let that woman continue on talking. You could tell she was in an emotional state. You could tell that she wasn't, put together, whatever. And this is why I don't do interviews on my channel, because I don't know what people were going to say. And I got some people that they don't care. You know what I'm saying? I get more of my Italian friends on here. Yeah, y'all saw that before. I know real Italians. I don't know no second, third generation Italians. I know real, like, Italians that speak Italian and Greek people that speak Greek, So I I watch who I bring on here. Even my friends, they're Caribbean people. So it's like, nah, you ain't gonna get me demonetized on here. Say what you want to say. But the fact remains still, a lot of you broads out here hustling the system, and they're being allowed to do it based on the fact of saying what they want to say or making up things. Granny Panties is about to go live in a little bit, add on to whatever zest she got of a story she got. Always got to make it zesty. I see you, Granny Panties. I know you be over here. You gonna have the Playboy Bunny dress on again tonight? She dresses like a Playboy Bunny, don't you know? No matter Playboy Bunny, she used to dress with the little tight dresses on. Last night she wanted to superimpose herself on the screen. I said, why, Granny Panties? I call her Granny Panties. That's what I call her. Yeah, Granny Panties. You too old to be doing this. You way too old to be doing this. Like, if you 63, 64 years old, get out the way. Get out the way. If you're a vlogger and you're 63 years old, you shouldn't even be involved in this conversation. You don't even go to the club. One night she had the nerve to say, yeah, when you at the club, I said, oh yeah, she was listening to me. She was definitely listening to me. What's up, Perry? Perry, you got to get your broad in check, man. Don't back up your wife's lies. Worst thing you can ever do. She knows she's got advantage of you now. Don't ever back up your wife. You know your wife's lying. You tap her on the leg, whatever you got to do. But tell her, cut that shit out. Then from that point, nobody trusts you. Nobody trusts her either. She's a liar. And you'll cover it up and lie for her. That's what it tells me. Look at the ex. Nah, bro. I doubt that very seriously. You want to see the gear though? Hold on one second, boy. Stay right there, Pop. Mm-hmm. Give me a second, guys. I know, because she's ugly and she's fat. We don't want her. That's why she need a Korean guy, because she's ugly. All right, fellas. We got over 100 people in here. How many people checking for that right there, the black and white? See her across the street. She said, I gotta get me a Korean guy. Look at her. Look at her, y'all. Come on. You see what I mean about the limited delusion? I wouldn't even have did that if she wouldn't have walked past and tried to purposely antagonize me because she was with a light-skinned female. That's what your women do of the culture nowadays. Sweetheart, we don't want you. Look at you. I was about to call her Big Swole because she was swole. It's always the unattractive ones that talk that shit. Attractive women, they don't run around talking like that. Unattractive women run around talking like that. So back to the story. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I have the whole state knowing who you are with them love handles. Homie, I want to show you something real quick, right? She was definitely a grenade. She walked past me. She was with the Asia girl. The Asia girl said something slick, and so she started talking as loud as she possibly could. So I'm like, yeah, that's why I want to date a Korean guy. Da, 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 da. Like I'm interested. I'm not interested in you. How you know? How you know? How you? Come on, man. Stop it. Anyway, for what's his name? Solitude, No Mercy. You sound like a clown, nigga. Listen, homie. The wave always there. You understand what we talking about? Huh? Coochie down to the socks. This what you talking about? What you talking about? Huh? Who these by? Who these by right here? Who these by right here? Who these by right here? Huh? It start with a B. Who these by right here? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Now get your ass the fuck up on out of here. You understand what I mean? Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm about to block this dude real quick. Where's he at? Solitude, No Mercy. And what the fuck you supposed to be doing? Pull your fucking pants up, you hobo. Hold on 1 second. Where's he at? Yeah. He couldn't even spell pimp right. He said an ex-pimp. I hear you, Dusty Clown. Yeah, everything I got on Dusty, baby. All right. Don't nobody care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time, yo, listen, if I had $10 for every time I have to do that, they want me to have an off day so bad, baby, it ain't gonna happen. It don't happen. It don't happen. Listen, you ask anybody in the music industry that used to work around me, first thing they're gonna tell you, oh, that was the stylist and the photographer dude. You know what I'm saying? The whole reason I got with Bad Boy Entertainment and I was so enthralled to do it was because I was there looking for Groovy Lou. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna know who that is, some people ain't. But Groovy Lou was who I was looking for originally, and that was based off style. You understand what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna ever beat me with that. That should be funny as hell to me. You know what I'm saying? Dusty. When I hear somebody use that phrase, I already know what perspective they coming from. They coming from a perspective from the ghetto. See what I'm saying? Whenever there's always keywords to let you know what their background is. Your background suggests that you don't come from nothing that was more than $15,000 to $20,000 in your household your whole lifetime growing up. You are not my competition. You understand what I'm saying? Not even hardly. And that's the problem with a lot of these vloggers. They try to pretend like they my competition. You ain't my competition. That's why you got to talk about me. You see, there's other bloggers, these bloggers that I talk about. I'm just going to go off the side for a second here before I get off of here. There's other bloggers out here that if y'all realize it or don't realize it, some of y'all familiar with it. They'll send people to other people's chat rooms for the pure simple fact, just to annoy them, just to interrupt, or really just to be, you know what I'm saying, jerks. Now, these same podcasters, I'll go to their podcast. I won't interrupt. I won't send people over there. I won't, deduce them, talk about them. Even when I get on my own podcast, I don't even talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Who was Granny Panty said that? I don't know, man. You might be, I knew you knew that what a grenade was. Yeah, that was definitely a grenade. I ain't worried about her. You know, this is the thing. When you get, and I'm talking, this is a female I'm talking to, so guys don't think I'm being insulted. I'm firm to believe when you get females, especially nowadays, that are not such attractive as other girls, usually what they do is they have a set of behaviors. They talk real loud. They wait till they get right in front of you and they act like or pretend like they're on the cell phone. And I've had girls pretend like I was going to talk to them before. I was like, yo, are you out of your mind? I've had a lot of women do some weird things to get my attention. And they only really want, I got two sisters. The only thing they want is about 10 or 15 seconds of your attention. Most of the time, they don't want to give you no vajay. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying, go on a date. They just want your attention. That's it. They just want your attention. I can't make this up. So I'm very keen with my time, and I refuse to give a chick my attention that's unwarranted. I'm sorry. I refuse to. But when you try to be obnoxious, that's something different. And that's what that female was trying to do. She walked past me and she would, like, I looked right, when y'all saw me on the camera from the time she looked back, if y'all go back, y'all see me look right at her, and then I'll look back. Because I already got my mind, she gonna say something dumb. Because this is what she's got to do for herself to make people pay attention to her. That's what it's all about. It's about the attention game. Please keep on paying attention to me and don't pay attention to him. See, her focus wasn't on me. She was hoping and wishing the Korean girl don't look at me. That's why she made the racist. Listen, I ain't never in my life, and I done dated Italian girls, Greek girls. I live in Connecticut. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that different here. So I ain't never walked around and been like, oh, I'm with a Spanish girl. Yo, I'm with a white girl. Yo, I just meet girls. But a lot of black females nowadays and Latin females against their own men are very racist when it comes to the dating thing. I watched a podcast one night where a dude was talking about how the escorts, even the black and Latin escorts, are nowadays saying that they won't even do black and Latin dudes. It's crazy. I'm like, yo, you serious? Like, do you know how many multi-millionaires there are out here that are black and Latino? You missing out on a bag. No, what you really meant to say was your profession doesn't allow you, and your scale in your profession doesn't allow you to attract clients that would be $1,000. You ain't that type of girl. That's what we're really saying. That's why those type of men are coming for you. Makes sense? If you don't look like you should be charging $1,000, no man is gonna pay $1,000. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, this is New York City tri-state. We know hoes. Black, white, polka dot alike. We know hoes up here. Call girl, hooker, whatever you want to call her. Same thing, ain't it? Anybody ever seen the movie Pretty Woman? Wasn't no niggas in that movie, was it? Wasn't nobody black or Latino in that movie. Explain that. What we got in here? What's good? What's going on, Willie? Willie the Pimp. Yo, son, I ain't seen you in a minute, B. What's going on? Willie the Pimp, one of my what's the name? Oh, you're talking about the tactics of females who don't have pretty privilege. Oh my God, I never knew this is fascinating. Yeah, there is a lot of girls that, listen, the pretty privilege shit goes so deep that they're now using it on other women. Let me run that back for you one more again. The pretty privilege thing that goes along with women and this fake entitlement, which usually is inclusive of heavy makeup, wigs, and blue hair. These women that need this heavy induction of makeup, let me tell you something, about 10, 15 years ago in the game, and it's still affluent in a lot with most men. If you wore a whole bunch of makeup on your face or whatever, first thing I want to do, I want to say to you, yo, let's go swimming. I need to see what you really look like. You know what I'm saying? My ex, I swear to God to you, beautiful. I was with her for 7 years. I don't remember one time, she was Muslim too, so that probably had a lot to do with it. But I don't remember one time one time she wore some light lipstick and it was pink. So it almost looked like her lips, if you want to say. And it looked very good with her complexion or whatever. My ex, I guess because she didn't grow up like that, she never wore makeup. The ex I had before her, she was Italian, never wore makeup. So I got a history, and I got pictures with these girls now. So we ain't gonna sit there, you know what I mean, and pretend like it is what it is. My ex used to wear hijab. You know what I mean? She grew up like that. So yeah, I'm not used to women that wear a lot of makeup, and most men, they don't like a woman. You know, a little light makeup here and there, whatever, no foundation, what I can deal with that. You going out in front of other chicks, I know you don't want to see that zit you got on your face, whatever. But like, when I've seen videos where chicks create a whole new face. Y'all seen the videos? You like, in one frame, she look like Gargamel. And then the next frame, she looked like the Little Mermaid or something. You're like, yo, what happened here? This was Gargamel 5 minutes ago, you know? And the way that society is now, and it's hard on these girls, a lot of them, even more so hard than when me and my sisters were growing up. There's a contention to be perfect, which half of these chicks you see by the failures and surgeries and liposuctions and Botox lips and shit. They look horrible, most of them. I never remember a period, you know, I'm in my 40s, but I never remember a period where so many women look the same and almost had the same temperament. They don't have any individualism at all. And it's sad. It's like literally watching the movie The Matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of neos and shit running around, and they all, move the same or whatever. I think that's one of the things that I guess sets apart of a lot of women nowadays or whatever. So nah, it won't be no disrespect. I just want to respond to that comment. It's the truth, really. But you can't be running around acting like you were 10, and because of the enhancements of makeup and Botox and BBLs, put yourself in the category of being a 10. A 10 don't have nothing to do with how you look necessarily. A chick can be like in reality a 6, but if she like just a strong chick, like she automatically a 10. She already get them, them extra 5 or 6 points. That's how I picked my ex, and that's why we stayed together so long. But like if you picking chicks just based off the looks nowadays, that shit is dangerous because these chicks, this is how they hustling. You understand what I'm saying? So for the basketball player that gets tricked in from 2 chicks, you know what I'm saying, and ends up with a side baby, or the NFL player, or the lawyer, or the baseball player. I saw them just try to run that on him. You saw the girl from 20 versus 1, 20 versus Pop the Balloon, whatever that crap is. You had a girl on there that's actually being brought up on charges, and she was one of the most obnoxious people on the show. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sit here and I'm not going to flatter or cater to women. I got 2 sisters. I love women. But I'm not, when I see some BS, I'm going to call it out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you chicks, y'all don't see the BS as being thrown at y'all. And the men, they so weak nowadays, they don't even want to call it out. Half of these guys, when you talk to them, it sounds like you talking to a woman. I've had men, because y'all know I got some tone in my voice. I admit it. I've had guys that I've talked to, and they act like they afraid of me because of the tone in my voice. They're like, like, what are you scared of? I was going to do something to you. I wouldn't come up and start talking to you. This is New England. I ain't going to come up and start talking to you. You know how many, listen, predominantly most of my life, I lived on the shoreline here. So we got a whole bunch of taverns and small bars and, the liquor stores, the package store, like we just townies, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. I done had too many nights where, the towny flavor comes out. Somebody gets cracked their head with a bottle, the same guy's in the next night, we're drinking a beer with them. That's how we grew up here. And it's like that all the way from, I'm gonna at least say from New Haven on up to Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. And it's the same way from New York on down to Southern Jersey. Some of us, that's how we grow, especially people on the shoreline. So, yeah, man, I don't hate no women or nothing like that. I call out shit for being real and when it's fake. And I don't know, maybe me being myself has always got me in the right doors, it seems like, huh? I still can't believe you guys are missing things, man. Listen, man, I was just with freaking out of everybody, Lisa Evers from Fox. I told y'all, check me out. Y'all see me in all these places or whatever, and you just like take it and throw it out the window and act like it's nothing. No, it is something. It's something for me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and the only reliable source of income I got to rely on is that Google gives us. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, I just wanted to say that little piece about that female. I don't have any contention towards her. I know it turned into a couple other things here towards the end, but I want you to know, nevertheless, ladies, watch what you're getting yourself involved in. A lot of you are looking like panhandlers and peddlers on this YouTube nowadays, and that's what I'm saying. Lady, you've had over 20 to 30 interviews now. Every time that something pops up with Puff or Diddy, as you guys know, all right? Enough is enough. It's time for you to go get a job. It's time for you to either, monetize your page. She was trying to promote her page too. Y'all go over there and check her page. Like just like I said at the trial when I interviewed that guy down there or whatever, that the news didn't even know who he was. I was like, I ain't interviewing him. That's one of my best ones. I'm gonna throw that up in a smaller clip later on for y'all too. I've been telling you, I've been doing that for 2 days. I got some other clips. I've got footage from the lawyer that you guys don't have. I threw up an extended version of it, which is like maybe 5 minutes and some change long. Y'all can go check that out. It's right down below. Guys, also make sure you hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Moving and shaking right now. Because the way I feel is, if somebody has spent $1.3 million and got a settlement for what they said, you know what I'm saying, happened to them, and I believe it. I don't have no reason to disrespect that young lady and say that didn't happen to her. Obviously, it did happen to her. It's just a point of who it came from, based on her testimony. But the courts thought differently. The courts thought differently. And so she got a settlement. It was for $1.3 million. And if that was a man, I will stick behind my guns. And I will say once again, if that 1.3 million or most of it was gone, they would say to a man, well, you should have invested it better. You should have did this better. It would have been all these conundrums about what that man should have done. But we need to apply the same measure to this young lady right here. Lady, you should have invested your money better. You should have did better choices. You know, all the stuff that they say about men or whatever. Why doesn't that apply to this woman? Is that a fair question to ask there? And instead, we have, as a result, we have a woman invite her on the podcast and encourage everybody to donate to this woman. Now, I'm not mad at the woman collecting donations. It's just the point of, you know, now that seems like peddling to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not putting in work. You're sitting in your bedroom. I'm not a fan of people that sit in their bedrooms all day long and talk about activities that go outside where I'm actually at, if y'all get it. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you talk about this, tell people about this. Like I said, I ain't got nothing to do with Shorty like that, but it was just amazing that I saw that woman pop up on that stream, and I was just like, oh, that's crazy. You're still at it? And I mean, she's been on 20 plus podcasts. So once I see it in a short amount of time, so by the time I see you on the third or fourth podcast and it's the same routine, y'all make sure to hit her Cash App. Hit her Cash App. But y'all telling people don't hit my Cash App? That's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say. Cameron Phillips. Hey, Cameron Phillips. Do you tell your favorite podcaster that? Let's ask Cameron Phillips that question. Cameron Phillips, let's see how accomplished you are on here. I always like to do this. See, Cameron, he came messing with the wrong people today. Cameron has been on here for 3 years and has 0 subscribers. You ain't quite set the world on fire, did you there, Cameron? It's always these types. Don't y'all notice that? I always go and see how many people are following them, how many people. Cameron, you can't make a dent here. Okay, it's cute though. But see, Cameron, this is the thing. Here on YouTube, when you partner up, you have to fill out W-9s. Now, Cameron, you might not know that because everything based on your voice sounds like somebody that live up under the girlfriend. Yeah, you sound like you live with your girlfriend and you ain't on the lease. I know that voice. So since you sound like one of them types of fit in the folder, you live with your girlfriend or whatever, and you can't figure out the measure of what I'm doing is work. And you can't figure out the fact that even though I got to fill out for taxes and everybody else is monetized on here got to fill out for taxes, and I've been doing this for 5 years, maybe it's something you doing wrong because you only got, no followers. Go fuck your mother. Anyway, who else is in here? Last time I watched you, you was in the park and getting on folks. Really? Okay, that's what's up. How can you expect for a woman to do better with her settlement money? With the fact that she had poor decision making, that's why she was put in positions to be able to get a settlement. I don't know. Like, I'm not an advocate and I'm not against her either. What's your name? Mode on Culture. I'm not an advocate of hers or nor am I an opposer of hers. What I am is I'm this. I'm somebody that simply sees what they see. If you've been in 20 plus podcasts in a short amount of time and you've had a settlement in the past for $1.3 million, and what they would say to a man is, well, you should have made better investments and you would have more money now. That's what they would say to a man. So I'm saying, how come that doesn't apply to a woman who didn't ascertain that $1.3 million working a 9 to 5 or busting a butt or good investments in the stock market? No, she made this money off a lawsuit settlement. So at $1.3 million, most people don't see that in their whole lifetime. You understand what I'm saying? So my point is, how come the same measure is not put forth towards this woman and ask the question of, well, you should have made better investments? That's what they would say to a man. I've had it said to me, and I worked in the music industry for 17 years. I've had it said to me. And if you match me with the average person that's talking, like that guy that was just talking right now, you will see there's no comparison. You cannot compare to me as far as a resume. I'm talking about written resume. Forget all that street stuff. Y'all come in here with that street stuff don't apply nowhere. Don't apply nowhere, especially in 2024. So they come in here with this street mentality, ain't never been nowhere before, ain't never done nothing before. Some of these men, they live with their girlfriend and ain't even on a lease and been there for the past 10 years. Some of these guys, they drive their girlfriend's car. Some of these guys, they wait on their girlfriend like a fifth grader with a book bag to come pick them up off the work. Man, come on, man, stop it. Sorry, excuse my French, my whole life I done took care of hoes. Point blank. My sisters will tell you that shit. My whole entire life, I done took care of hoes. I've been on my own since I was 17. I've been a mortgage holder before. I had my own place. I've done the stock market. Like, you can't talk to me about money. So when I hear dudes talking like that, it's usually because you lacking something. And what you'll find many of the times, the ones that are the loudest and talk the most brightest and they ain't talking about shit, those will be the ones. So, homie, don't come to my page. First of all, I'm going to block you. You're not my competition. If you got 0 followers in 3 years, you ain't exactly set the world on fire. Who cares what you say? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying on Model Coach. I'm not trying to bang on her. Like, I could come on here and say a whole bunch of other things if I wanted to about her, but I don't choose to do that because it's obvious this woman is hurt. It's obvious this woman is scarred of it. But what I'm saying is, I know a hustler when I see one too, and this woman is hustling. And I'm trying to figure out, what is she trying to pay for? Because you had ascertained $1.3 million. If you get the average person $1.3 million, and the state taxes are usually somewhere between the skew of 18% to 14% max, that means you're still going to be left at 1.3. You'll still be left with like 1.12, somewhere around there. You're going to be left with a significant amount of money. So for you to be able to exasperate all that money in that short amount of time is amazing to me. I mean, if anything, you could have bought into a McDonald's. She didn't invest the money. If you're still taking cash, I don't have any sympathy. I don't care if it's male or female. And you had a settlement of $1.3 million and now the shit's gone. Why are you taking Cashapps out the game? And why are people giving this woman Cashapps out the game, but they donating to the real podcasters? You know how easy it is to hop on. Listen, this woman's own son, this to give emphasis, this woman's own son has asked her mom, why don't you just stay offline? She came online with all this paranoid, schizophrenic stuff. She was talking about, you could obviously tell there's something wrong with this woman. And so, you know, maybe it's a shadow of what happened to her as far as her trauma. I don't want to take that away from her. I think she deserves that. But at the same time, ma'am, you are intentionally doing what you're doing at this point and it's looking silly. It's looking crazy. Like, what more can you get out of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what more can you get? She was hawking a book. Talking about the book coming out. This is all about money. So you don't care about these women that have been sexually assaulted or whatever the case may be, because you don't even talk about the women that don't make the news. Wanda Smith passed away on Sunday. I'm going to say it again. She was a premier person in the journalistic world, which all these girls, they doppelgang off of her, Wendy Williams, and a couple of other legends that were in the game, or whatever the case may be, right? You ain't heard one woman have one podcast talking about Wanda Smith. Only thing you've heard is, how come y'all ain't talking about Wanda Smith when y'all was over there today? Even this girl that I'm talking about, they had this woman on a podcast today, and she's the type of chick you got to stay away from. You got to stay away from a chick like that, because if you don't stay away from her, honestly and truthfully, you might end up, you know what I mean, in some trouble over her. Seriously. You really might end up in some trouble over her. You know what I'm saying? So she's the type to stay away from. But I will say this about her. She has the right to say what she wants to. She has the right to do what she wants to. Damn, you are fine. She has the right to do what she wants to. I'm sorry, I just saw this pretty ass girl. She has the right to say what she wants to and do what she wants to. What you don't have the right to do is exaggerate stories. And I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of us got, the exaggerations of the stories, the putting in mind, not even on a bad day, homie. Not even on a bad day. Not even on a bad day. Don't worry about it, guys. I was just talking to one of these losers that try to pretend like they're somebody. If you got to pretend, dude, if you got to put on an acting role, that means you ain't got shit going on. And you know, I always profess that. You know, I always have to make sure I put that out there. If you have to go out of your way and get into acting role, you have absolutely nothing going on and you're trying to compensate for it. What you say? My point is that why I understood exactly what you meant. When you explained to me, I love clarity, light bulb moments. Thank you very much. Yeah, for your information, I got good sense and good critical thinking skills, and I have an open mind. I have a particular talent of seeing others' point of view clearly. I'm glad you do. I like people like you. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. Let me see if anybody hit the cash out so I can thank them before I leave. Oh, thank you, Ahmad. I appreciate it. Cindy Price, thank you too. Appreciate it. Guys, if y'all want to, make sure y'all hit. I'm gonna do it like all the other bloggers. Make sure you hit the support feature. The support feature. We got critical things we're trying to get all done over here in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Them podcasters. I just find it still amazing how you guys accept these guys doing a bare minimum when it comes to this podcasting thing, man. You allow these guys to do anything they want to. It's crazy. Crazy, man. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know if y'all want me to, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care. I'm gonna do y'all solid tonight, all right? Even though it's a little breezy out here tonight, I'm gonna do y'all solid. I'm gonna take you guys to a location. There goes another one of them. They wait till they get right in front of you. Those women, I swear to God, have mental issues. Like, seriously. I don't, listen, personally, I don't deal with urban women anymore because the pure simple fact, most of them I'm finding have mental problems. They always want to go out of the way so you'll pay attention to them. They do some weird shit. Like, they'll wait till they'll get right in front of you and start talking loud on the phone, and it's like an echo call, like, pay attention to me. No, I don't want to pay attention to you. You're desperate. That's what's giving me, you know what I mean? But, you know, and I don't mean urban, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all black women, all Latin women. I just mean like, you know, like, hood chicks, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like, I got hood homegirls that I hang out with that I know, whatever, known them for years, I trust them. Other than that, I don't want to meet no new hood chicks. They're usually followed by trouble. That's what I find uniquely linear about that type. They always followed by trouble, always into something, always loud mouthing, get you in the middle of a fight or something. You know, don't date girls like that. Then you mess around and you have a kid by one of those chicks, and now you're stuck there in that space with that type of energy for the next 18 years. You don't want that. Find you a nice, quiet girl. That's what I did. My ex-girlfriend, she was Muslim. She was quiet. She was a nerd. She was at Yale. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't like dealing with them type of chicks. I found, and every friend that I've ever had that ever dealt with urban chicks like that, it didn't matter if they were Spanish, black, white, whatever, they come in all flavors. They always had a problem, always in court, always, you know, I saw some guys damn near lose their health over chicks like that. Those chicks like that, they're not meant for men. They're meant just to be alone, in my personal opinion, you know? That's how I see it. Why did you show us a pretty girl? You put the camera on a grenade. That's not fair. I know, I ain't want to do that. She was looking right at me, though, so I ain't want to put the camera right on her. That would have made her feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't want to do that. Nah, I ain't want to do that. But I will next time. We might do some girl searching one day here on this channel. We do that. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App real quick or whatever. I earn my dollar, earn my keep. I might have to go switch up, though, bro. I don't think this little light jacket gonna do it tonight. I think I'm gonna have to go put my big jacket on real quick and try part 2 of this. You know what I'm saying? For real, because this jacket is tight right now. Yeah, it's early. I could go switch out my jacket real quick. I think I'm gonna do that before I take off. All right, guys, check this out. I'm gonna be back with y'all and probably like, I don't know, give me like, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna run home, get me a jacket because it's kind of cool out here. I didn't expect it to be that cool. I'm gonna go grab me a jacket because I know by the time I get back later on tonight, it's gonna be freezing. I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna head up out of here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go live again, and I'm gonna go live on the spot so I can show y'all what I'm talking about, and y'all get a little bit more in depth as far as the story is concerned, and everything that's going on with this whole Diddy thing, and this chick reappearing, running around telling her story again. Man, you need to get offline. That's like your kids told you. If your own son is telling you get offline, why don't you listen to him? You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of seems, I don't know, kind of asinine at this point when you say, well, my own son told me to get offline. And even the lady that was interviewing you looked at you like, well, why didn't you get offline? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't make this stuff up. You know what I mean? So we just hope that she gets some help that she needs, because obviously she needs some help. That lady is hurting inside. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's a tragedy what happened to her. I'm not going to sit up here and you know what I mean, defend that, what happened to her, because that's just terrible what happened to her. But what I can say is, man, you got to stop talking about that stuff. It's obviously bothering you. That woman was crying on camera, and I'm going to say to TT, I'm going to say a name like that. Next time that you get a young lady or anybody on there and they start crying on your podcast, you should automatically end the podcast. Don't continue the podcast. It's trash. You know what I mean? It's real trash. That woman is sitting out there belting and crying. You can tell she's hurt. You just like, it was slightly a little condescending. Like, you didn't load a lady, so I get it. You didn't care. But at the same time, I was just like, damn, lady, really? That's sad. That's sad. It's really sad, man. I feel sorry for them. I really do. Y'all think I'm heartless. I am a little bit, but not like that. don't like seeing no chick crying and, you know what I'm saying? I don't like seeing that. Yo, y'all be surprised, but it's real chilly out here right now. Like real chilly. I gotta get my other jacket, son. Woo! When I get down here to the end, y'all stay with me. I'm gonna show y'all my city. Even though this look like New York, this ain't New York. You know what I mean? It look like New York, but this ain't New York. It is breezy as hell. Yo, the temperature dropped like 20 degrees. Like that's crazy. I gotta definitely go home and get my other jacket, y'all. This ain't gonna make it. This jacket right here was good for me for the day. And then like this a few minutes ago, it started getting chilly out this mug. Like, what? Y'all wanna see? So this is not New York. When you go that way, the opposite way, that's New York. I'm gonna show y'all. Let me just get across the street first, because I'm for real, you know, chilly out this month. Y'all let me know if y'all want me in New York tonight. Hit that Cash App. I got more than enough time, and I'll stream for y'all the particular place, because what I like doing is, when I'm streaming, I like streaming from a perspective of like, yo, listen, this is what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? What you say? A smash or pass one time with the ladies who pass by would be fun. Nah, I'm straight, man. I'm straight. Both of them shit, both of them that were passing by, bro, both of them girls, they ain't had no shape. Like their shape was off. Like, yeah, that's the funny part. Like usually when I get smoke like that from a chick, like they say some slick shit to me, it's usually because they look at me. My sister had to teach me this. She said it's usually because they looking at you like, oh, that guy would never date me. So the only result they got is to be nasty and rude. And I had to figure that out. Somebody else told me that too. Another woman. She was like, they probably just don't like you because they know you won't date them. I said, oh, I got you. I don't know. I definitely wasn't interested in either one of them though. That's for real, Sean. I don't think no big. It's not even a big girl. I can fuck with a big girl, but it's like when you mean, obnoxious, and cruel, and you big like that, that's another thing. That girl ain't have no shape to her. And she was, I'm find me Korean. Don't know Korean dude. Korean dudes are small as hell. Don't know Korean dude want your big ass. Like she was big. Like, and it wasn't like she was big. Like, there's some girls that are big and they got a shape to them, sexy as fuck. And then there's some girls that are big and they don't got no shape to them. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yo, you know what I mean? How are you being rude and mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said what I said to her. And I wanted to make sure she heard me, because she tried to play it off and laugh with the Korean girl at first, and then the Korean girl heard the second thing I said. She was like, oh shit. And she separated from her. They crossed the street together and then they separated. So she said, I said to myself, she must have heard what I said. I wouldn't have said nothing to you if you wouldn't have said nothing to me. But a lot of girls, I hate to say it, a lot of ethnic girls run around starting stuff like that all the time. Y'all be surprised, bro. Y'all be really surprised. So that's what it is, man. What, nigga? That's what it be, you know? What y'all doing out there, man? I'm trying to get across the street right now. I smashed it past one time. You stupid, bro. Why didn't you show us the pretty girl you put on camera? Y'all killing me with that grenade shit. That shit is funny. That is hilarious. Y'all give me a second. Y'all be able to see me clear in a minute. I'm just trying to get across the street right now. Traffic is crazy. All right, here we go. Y'all just give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right across the street in a second. All right, I'm back. Ooh, it is chilly as hell out here, y'all. I wouldn't have been. I'm glad I stopped and went live with you guys, because it had not, I would have been out of the town with this little thin jacket on. This shit ain't making it. Shit, I might call it a rap to the mall, maybe. I think I might do that. Yeah, I might just call it a rap to the mall, y'all. Y'all let me know by hitting the Cash App. Come on, produce my show. What I'm gonna do is, somebody asked me about the shorts I do. They were like, I forgot how they put it, but they was like, yo, do you make shorts like that all the time? I guess they were fans of how I make my shorts. If you ever check my shorts out, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about here on YouTube. And so I said to them, I said, yeah, man, I got you, though. I don't know, they ain't never contact me back, but that'd be something I might do, add to my services. I think the real problem with me here is I'm very plain spoken. And a lot of people don't like that. Like, even how I was describing what went on, like, I don't do all the rigmarole of sitting around, and, you know, and particularly, and this is what happened, and this is how they read the charges. And like, these dudes, they be trying to sound, and girls, they be trying to sound like they real journalists. I don't do that. This ain't real journalism. Well, it's real journalism, but you know what I mean? This ain't the network. Like, I be around people that's at the networks. As y'all can see, y'all thought I was lying. I was like, yo, come on, son. I'm sitting up here with Lee Savage. Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? And it's like the third time I'm gonna put some real people from media on this camera. The hate be so deep. The hate be so deep. The hate be so deep that they don't want you to win. So that's why you're gonna get people that don't donate to you. The other half of the people that come in here, I learned this from looking at my demographics on YouTube studio. I think it was 70% of my, y'all give me a second, y'all be able to see me. I'm just stopping to put my bag on my shoulder. And I'm gonna let y'all go too, because it's gonna be dark, continuous after that. Ugh. I just wanted to talk about this one little part real quick though. The reason I don't get donations like that, for the most part, is because, and I say it again, and y'all can feel how you want to feel about it or whatever, but it's the truth. I'm a male and I appear the way that I appear with my skin color. A lot of people a lot of people are bagging on a black man right now, which is Pop. You add that in that I worked with this dude for so long and all that stuff or whatever. You had like a couple podcasters were running around literally talking about, yeah, he's a Puffy supporter. Don't support him. Don't donate. This is men doing this. And so, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I said, luckily, I mean, as sad as it seemed, you would think that the people would come through. You think that the culture would come through. They don't come through for you. I try to tell you that the culture right now trying to bash people in the culture. They're doing a better job than the FBI could ever. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just keep it real. So, you know, like for me, I ain't too, how can you say, I ain't too caught up into calling people guilty and they're not guilty. I done seen niggas, I got niggas that's still doing time, bro. I got 2 dudes that's doing life. For real, like for real. Like that police shit, that shit real for me, son. And then to be able to, years later, after the stuff that I've been through, be able to be around them and work with them, it's just, I mean, work around them, not work with them, work around them. And the capacity of the places I'm at is amazing. So yeah, I don't take that lightly, locking up a nigga and all that shit, whatever. Show me the evidence. You're guilty, then I got you. But if he ain't guilty, that mistake's on you. Hold on 1 second. You do a comment? Yeah, I do politics, but you ain't too much about that culture thing. Like I said, that whole culture thing for me is fake and fraud. Like, I don't know, it's just fake to me. Hold on, I'm gonna go here in the light. That whole culture shit, that shit is fake to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the culture, for example, see what I be doing, and they don't support it. They only support women. I saw that today. That woman had $1.3 million in her possession, lost it all. Now she online taking Cashapps again. And it's funny to me because all these men and women were so enlightened to help her out because they don't like Puff. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing with me when they ain't like Jaguar Wright. They was all donating to me. Then as soon as I started seeing a couple things and I started speaking in a different direction about Jaguar Wright, all of a sudden it was like, oh, no. Nigga, I started out supporting her. What you talking about? It is what it is. You don't worry about that. Brighter days to come. Like I said, one of these days, somebody gonna come through here. They gonna be like, here, there you go, 9 G's. Go get everything you need done. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, y'all. I'm probably gonna cut it short tonight. I was gonna go and do something with y'all, but I don't think I'm gonna do that now. I think I'm just gonna say, go fuck yourself, you punk. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm ain't talking to y'all. I hate when a punk walk past me. Anyway, I was gonna do something with y'all tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna still do it. Y'all let me know by hitting the Cash App up, supporting the channel, whatever the case may be. But I'm tired of doing trips on me, bro. The whole thing, the 2 days in a row that I covered the trial, literally that cost me out of pocket about $147. Ain't nobody recouped that. And that was like the third joint that I did. So if you're talking about all 3 arraignments I did, it was collectively probably around about $270, $80 I spent out of my own money. You know what I'm saying? And now one person was like, yo, thanks, Dad. They need to say thank you. That would have been enough for me. They didn't even say thank you. It was like, yo, fuck that nigga. We seen it, you know what I'm saying? But they over at the people, and I want to emphasize this, the people that sit in the bedroom all the time and just Google shit and that's it, and they ain't even there, or they ain't even in accommodation of things, it's weird to me that they get the most Cash Apps on here. It's hilarious to me. I said that's why I said all that culture shit, let's talk for the cult. I ain't into that. I ain't into that no more. But I've done, let me tell you why I say that. I've gone, I don't know how many places on my dime. There was the supporter of mine, Annette, she paid one time, she said, listen, I want you to go to a museum or whatever, I want to see it. They wouldn't even donate for me to pay the admission fee so they could see doing Black History Month, their own Black history, so they could share with their kids. That was all what it was about for me, was the kids. I was like, because I know there's going to be a generation of kids that didn't come up like certain other kids. Nobody donated a dime. I covered the whole freaking thing. I'm talking about display per display, gave them descriptions, read it out. Nobody. I went to Seneca Village, which was one of the first inhabitants in New York that was occupied by blacks buying houses. Nobody donated to that. I went to where Malcolm X was killed at. Nobody donated to that. Doing Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? They don't like me. You know what I'm saying? In this capacity, I'm too, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the taste is. And if you're not talking, it seems like if you're not speaking or talking like a slave or talking heavy, adulterated ebonics or whatever, they just can't convey what you're saying, and they're not going to support you. That's just what it is. This is where I would say Black American culture and Latin American culture is nowadays. This is what it is. They want the giggles and the keys. But if you don't watch it, you're going to be giggling the key, and something serious is going to happen to you. My name is Davin Lewis. I'll talk to y'all later.